Starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Koku is here with Saku and Rosh and we are continuing Ace Attorney investigations.
Hello.
Hello. Was that statement really a lie?
Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now spit out the truth or so help me!
I haven't lied to anyone, sir. Honest. I really was there. I was in the hallway the whole time.
Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that's heading up this investigation, am I not?
Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy.
So, like, did he buy his coat like that, or?
I want to know. All I want is for this investigation to run perfect.
Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Karma, after all.
Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something.
And what's that?
What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about?
The hierarchy of angels.
Were there any angels in the hallway?
Oh no, the angels. I didn't catch them after all. And cry. Well, actually, I did cry, but that was unrelated.
I guess
I want to know all of these.
Yeah. Can you ask more than one, or do you only get one?
Usually in the Ace Attorney you only get one without taking damage.
Okay. That's what the hallway was like. Did you see that really cool poster of the judge?
I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is where can I get that poster?
And will the
Detective
judge
Gumshoe's motive. Motive for committing this crime. Seriously, I need to know.
Motive, huh?
Hi, Solid Snake.
Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything?
No, sir. No, me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir.
Is that a fact?
You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe? I'm telling you, I am not lying!
The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know.
Do you want a motive, Edgeworth? I'm doing the Edinburgh thing again, I'm sorry.
Never
If you want a
apologize for your
motive,
beautiful
Edgeworth.
accent.
I'm not from Edinburgh, though. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here.
Could you please share it with us? However, when you share it with a Glaswegian accent, and be forewarned, I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy.
Alright, I'll see. Space Ghettos in a very stereotypical southern accent, so it will sound like Spice Girls in a Glaswegian accent. How does that sound? Seriously, try it. Spice Girls! Spice Girls.
I'm not doing that. Because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation.
You're serious, aren't you? Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. God, her sprite is so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I was Sorry. It was... Oh, wait, fuck, I have to do it in a Glaswegian accent, right?
No, you don't have to. Does she have the same mirror as Detective Bad? Do you think they're related?
It's not the same mirror, but I did notice they both peeked in mirrors.
That's cool.
Okay. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed up by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit!" A brand new detective, suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? You totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge.
Quiet. We can't trust anything you say.
So,
There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Ms. Yu's perfect explanation may not be so perfect at all. He's just moving around. No one can hear his thoughts. Like, why is he doing all these poses?
it was about a week ago.
A week ago. Then you and Detective Gumshoe are acquaintances.
No way. I only met him in person today.
Then how did you know about Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, I've seen him around before. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct.
Mr. Faraday was upset.
Yeah. You know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry of. There he was, totally beet red in the face. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die.
Just like the face he's making right now.
How old are you, sweetheart?
Oh,
Ah, I'm completely innocent, I tell you.
the poor man.
It was quite the scene with the detective. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit!"
You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you.
Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him. No way. I thought it was because I had something stuck in my face!
I mean, you do.
But you do! Huh? What have I got stuck on my face? Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth, oh, and those ridiculous eyebrows.
Oh my god!
Huh?
I love that he's trying to look up and see them.
Oh man, your head is just too much fun.
Miss you, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now.
Oh, Gumshoe.
Sure, why not? A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. I'm just leaning into the Edinburgh thing now. I can't cut it out.
That's a new detective salary right off the bat, like.
I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice? Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier too?
I suppose I did.
It's only natural to cut a worthless detective's salary down to their actual worth. My father can even fire anyone, new or old, with the snap of his fingers.
Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people?
Well, I guess they really shouldn't cut people's pay.
Detective Bad, don't tell me Von Karma cut your salary earlier.
Does not need extra money to feed child. Child is growing up. Child is like 5 years old. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation?
You call your explanation perfect.
Is it not to your liking?
Unfortunately for you, it's not up to my stand.
Oh. Is there something you want me to clarify in that case?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Alright, if you could clear this one. Yeah,
You think more?
no motive for killing Mr. Rell?
I guess if he was a witness, she would just say that, huh?
That's a good point. But we know this one.
Yeah, I think the middle one.
We can try.
I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rell?
His motives for killing Rail, like I would know.
If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred, wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves?
Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea.
What? But that's impossible. You must know something.
Yeah, it's her, blatantly. Wait! Could you please... Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh.
Didn't even do anything and you're already laughing away.
I love
It's
her.
not my fault I have resting bitch.
Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as you had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway.
Oh? Would you care to explain your life? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation.
Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight. Or is that a requisite trait for being a Von Karma?
Myers Edgeworth, I demand that you shut this rude woman up!
I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second.
Ahem. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Bell. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other.
I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I have to take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. Shut up, you. The second KG8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member. Get out of my head! And the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. If there's someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them.
There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
So there's no one else who might have had a grudge against both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
I suppose no one is a bit of a stretch. But I'm pretty sure no one like that was here in this house today.
She's lying through her teeth. We just saw someone like that here earlier.
Besides, you don't need to prove that the killer had a grudge against both men. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against.
One with a grudge against one of the men. In that case, aren't there plenty of other people who fit?
Sure. After all, who doesn't garner scorn from from another simply by being alive? But the only one who held a grudge and acted upon it by killing was Detective Gumshoe. Furthermore, Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday.
You're saying that he was basically silent.
Aren't you glad you managed to avoid the same fate, Your Honor? Why, if you had been the one to witness the blood-covered detective.
What? Detective Gumshoe! You would kill even me?
Oh no, that's taking that a step too far. What? I could never do something as terrible as that, Your Honour.
There's no need for even a second of deliberation. I'll hand on my verdict here. Your Honour, take a look around. We are not in court right now. It would be greatly appreciated if you would stay here with us in reality.
Edgeworth, like, come on, don't ask for too much.
Please forgive me. I know not what I do. With the angels did something.
And you there, Miss You, hurry up and continue with your testimony.
Aww.
If you fail to do so, I will whip you into shape.
When I say jump, you'll say how high. That's nice. Sounds kind of like fun, actually. Anyway, Detective Gumshoe had to erase the witness, Mr. Rell. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed
Hmm.
I didn't do it, pal! No hard feelings, but I don't think we can take the word of a criminal seriously. But I can't even begin to think up ways to set up a crime scene.
I suppose you do lack the necessary tactical mind required to do such a thing.
Why do you have to kick a man when he's down, pal? You shouldn't get yourself down, detective. You're a big boy. for it all myself, right? Yeah, that's right, and I worked real hard at it too.
I think this proves one thing about the detective. He has the mental acuity of a whale.
Because I've just been watching Coco play Hollow Knight, the only thing that flashed in my mind.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Because I've been watching Coco play Hollow Knight lately, the mind that no cost too great. Oh, worm.
I have to admit, her explanation makes sense. However, there's also something she overlooked in her testimony. I should present that piece of evidence and see if I can't make her see the truth. Ms. Yu, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person?
What do you mean?
We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. I can think of at least one person that fits that bill. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident, and a member of the Kodopian embassy staff, Mr. Manny Kochan. That's right, the very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hall. The man who killed a member of the Kodopian embassy staff, Mr. Rell. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Kochan has no reason at all to kill both these?
Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two. You covered for me, pal! Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony. These are the only things I wish to hold.
But I didn't do it!
You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Kochan. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should...
You want to investigate Kochan? You'd just be wasting your time.
And why is that?
Kochan was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived.
Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe.
I suppose so.
No way. Come on, Detective Bad, you've got to believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir.
Okay, then are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway?
No, there was no one else, sir.
Then why should I believe you didn't do it?
That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt.
I have to admit it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crime. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he's innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up a "I spaced out while on duty" or the like.
Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation.
Detective Bad.
Miles Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa.
And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Ho ho ho!
Your judge voice is so adorable. It's like your voice, but like with just a little inject again. Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh?
Before we do, monsieur, there is something I'd like to speak with you about.
What is it?
You just had to get really close.
So, what did you want to ask me about?
I'm gonna headcanon that he just stares at her for a while to make her laugh more. He's like, this is making her laugh, I'm gonna keep doing it.
I could see that with like an older Edgeworth, but not younger Edgeworth. He's too
Yeah,
right now.
young Edgeworth is a prat. But yes, older Edgeworth would totally do that. The current case of the murdered Cardopian embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG8 incident.
Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it?
I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG8 incident.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers.
No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG8 incident.
I'd appreciate it if you'd stop with the false accusation. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the room, don't you know?
I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on.
I think you can stop making that ultra face.
If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. Not gonna make any headway like this. Just gonna have to show her exactly how related to the KG incident she is. Amazing. Miss you. Miss you. I believe that. I have proof of your connection to the KG8 incident.
That file is your proof. Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG8 incident?
Your connection to the KG8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you do. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case?
Sorry, but we're not related.
What?
Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face. I couldn't help but.
Miss you, I ask that you please tell me the truth.
Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activity was a man.
Could you say that again? You got
Oh,
lost.
sorry. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activity Still getting cut out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activity was my sister, CCU.
As I thought.
And she was killed right before she was to testify at the by Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life, completely carefree.
All because of a lack of evidence.
No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did it.
What?
I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin. Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important, and the gunslinger followed.
Your mic's cutting in and out a lot, Rushling.
Hold on.
Everything all connected?
Should be.
Like the beginning of your sentences, but towards the end they sort of disappear.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Staring contest. Edgeworth never blinks. Oh, there we go. He blinked.
It seems to be okay on my end.
Cool.
Should I try again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's
Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence.
then the evidence had been tampered with.
Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Amano group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along.
How big was the smuggling ring? Was it a large operation?
I don't really know. Which is why I wanted to become the lead defence. On this case that people are calling the second KG8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know.
You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring?
I don't know what to think.
Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier?
Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was the defence lawyer on this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I generally think it's, something that means I'm a giant dick. But, Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. I'm fine. Really, I gave him a good slap across the face.
The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy.
But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around, and people in the gallery claim that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh?
That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your...
You really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we?
Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see.
Look at you with your game face on, ready to go.
I'm making no such face.
Did you know laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth? Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time?
I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of this world are found guilty. Have no need for love.
There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up.
I really hope that later on in life these two are friends.
I think she's the best thing about this game.
She's
very
amazing.
good.
I'd like to imagine that they did become friends later.
Well,
They
we'll
have
see how the
coffee
trial
together.
pans out.
The KG8 incident and this murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus that detective, Detective Gumshoe.
Why do I look at him and think he's my soulmate?
It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chance. Clearly this case is far from over. Whether or not that detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation.
Would you want to bet that Gumshoe ran off after Kay or something like that?
Maybe he went to get a snack from the vending machine.
That's likely too.
Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honourable name, or my name isn't Miles Ed.
And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
Bye bye.
Thank you.